10 to 8. Now, could heat trapped deep underneath our region's former mines be used to create energy to keep our region's homes warm? It's an idea North East scientists are looking at.
Well, the Durham Energy Institute says hot water in the mines beneath County Durham could be used to heat up to 2,000 new homes. BBC Newcastle's Philippa Goymer met Dr Charlotte Adams and Councillor Alan Gardner in Spennymoor.
Spennymoor's heritage goes back hundreds of years to privately owned mines, different estates in the town. The mining museum here, which is in the town hall behind us, is a tribute to the heritage of the town and its mining industry. And this project is going to be something that's going to be quite iconic if we can take it forward, in that we've actually got the toil of the generations of families and what they've produced, and hopefully we can produce sustainable energy from that through the work that Charlotte's doing, and hopefully we can take that forward.
Well, I mean, how could this possibly work? How could we create energy from abandoned mines?
OK, so many of our towns and cities are built on areas where coal is underlying them. Spennymoor is one really good example of that. And what we can do is when these coal mines were exploited, they were then, once abandoned, they were flooded, and we can take the water out of the mines, extract heat from that, and put the water back in the mines once we've finished with it.
So we're going to go into the town hall now and we're going to have a look at these plans and maps of things, aren't we?
Yep, we'll have a look and see what we can see underneath the town.
Nice. Wow, it's quite big. So, what have we got here?
So this is a big plan which is probably covering about half the table here. And this is just showing one section of the workings that underlay this area in one seam as well. So potentially there's lots of other plans that join with this for this seam. So this is just one little snapshot of what we've got beneath us in the area we're looking at.
Charlotte, can you tell me a little bit about the work that you've done so far and how close are we to this actually being able to happen?
Yeah, so what we've done so far is to get some maps that involved a trip down to the Coal Authority. They look after all the abandoned mines in the area. And now the next thing to do is calculate the resource that's down there. Once we know that, we can then think about how many homes we could potentially heat. We've done a similar study a couple of years ago which looked at the whole of County Durham, and that estimates that 100 to 200,000 homes could benefit from this type of system in future.
So this, to put it in layman's terms, is water that's in the abandoned mines that you would heat, and the heat from that water would provide energy. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's exactly right. What we do is the water sits in the mine workings at temperatures of between maybe 10 and some of them even up to 20 degrees. Obviously that isn't warm enough to take a bath in, so we run that through a system called a heat pump, which is capable of boosting the temperature to a more usable temperature that you'd want to use within your house for domestic hot water or for your heating.
And what kind of disturbance would there be to people who live in Spennymoor, who might be listening, who might think, oh, so what they're going to do, they're going to dig up the whole town?
There'd be very little disturbance. The area we're looking at is an area that's earmarked for new development. So the borehole that you might have to drill to access the workings to get the water out could be done as part of the normal boreholes that are drilled as part of the site investigation that would take place before you built any housing on the site.
And how much does it cost?
That's what we haven't done yet. We haven't worked out the costs. We will do that as part of the project. Probably not the capital costs of the equipment, because that's quite difficult to work out at this stage of study we're at. We're at a very preliminary phase. But we will work out what the heating cost could be and compare that with natural gas.
And what has people's attitudes to the plans been like from the town?
Generally, it's been quite productive that they've engaged with us. We've had a lot of comments that have said, you know, we need to have sustainable energy, we need to think about the environment, we need to think about the future. So we hope that by people attending this event, they'll be able to see more, they'll be able to learn a little bit more about it, and then get involved and be part of the process, part of the consultation, if you like, to actually get involved with moving forward and seeing if we can put Spennymoor on the map, not just as a mining town, but as someone who's actually taking forward brand new technologies.
Dr Charlotte Adams there from the Durham Energy Institute and Councillor Alan Gardner telling BBC Newcastle's Philippa Goymer how they want to use abandoned mines to create energy to heat homes.
It's a bit like the Blue Lagoon, isn't it, in Iceland, you know, where they have the geothermal springs. Maybe you'll have one of those in Spennymoor very, very... No, I'm serious, actually, because they were pools